Hi everyone, Nathan here from Mighty Lancer Games. Thanks for joining us this evening. Today we're going to be carrying on painting my Frostgrave halflings, which are a combination of Reaper and Cobblestone castings halflings. And I'm going to be beginning this evening by painting the flesh base tone on them all. So here I've got some Reaper Dwarven flesh here on the wet palette, which I've blobbed all over because I've added a little bit of water into it, and so we're just going to crack on, get some of that on, and chat to you all hopefully as much as we can. Under instruction from Mrs. MLG here at the side of me. So and I'm going to try and stay in frame. Yeah, so hope everyone's alright today, had a great day. I was umming and ahhing about the colour scheme to go with for the skin on my halfling. Seeing as they're the followers of a necromancer, I didn't know whether to do them with like a really pale, almost undead skin tone. But I've decided that I think I can just do my wizard with that kind of skin, and all her followers should have normal rosy skin for now. Maybe I'll make it a little bit more evil tinged as we progress through the campaign. I don't know, we might see how we go on that. So this is was this Woody Stumpwimple? I think that was her name. So she's a Reaper halfling ranger. Reaper halfling ranger. So she comes on she's a metal figure, and she comes on this little like moulded base from the Dark Heaven Legends range. And so I've just stuck her on a penny because all the rest of these halflings are all stuck on pennies, apart from the wizard herself and one of the other halflings whose base is about the moulded base, is just the perfect size anyway, like about the size of a penny. So I've not bothered sticking hair on anything else because that base is quite chunky. You'll see hair in a minute. So just put a little blob of paint on there, and let's move on. So this is the figure that I was just talking about. This is Elia Shadowfeet, I think her name was, when we looked her up the other day. So you see here this moulded base here on the bottom is ever so slightly bigger than a penny in one dimension, but spot on in the other. So I decided that I wasn't going to repaint her. I'm just going to leave her on this, or rebase her, sorry. I'm just going to leave her on that base, and she'll be fine once we've varnished her, once we've finished painting. Last night and today I've been building the first pieces of scenery, or new scenery, for my Frostgrave campaign that we're going to be running in the store. And we also did a little tester video. So we videoed the thing, so we're going to put a little, well, not a compilation, like a time-lapse or speeded up version of me putting it all together, which took me quite some time. And then we've also produced a video which will be going on to YouTube at some point in the not too distant future, which is a comparison between the Army Painter matte black spray and the new TT Combat Black Spectre spray. So we've got that done today, and Mrs. MLG is going to edit those up and get them put online over the next couple of days, in addition to all the other amazing things that she's doing. She's currently doing about 3 things at once. Sat here at the side of me, chatting, painting a figure, and curating some of our other activities. So, if you remember, if you were on our stream last week, hello everybody, by the way, in the chat. Sorry I can't type and paint and waffle at the same time. But if you were on the stream the other day when I was painting these halflings, some of these had been painted previously or started painting previously, and I wasn't happy with the paint scheme, so that's why I'm repainting the flesh on some of these. So it was too light, and I'm just going to recover it in with this dwarven flesh.
Unless the Lord Sir Nugget has redeemed a hydrate.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, we're just on water today, I've drunk all the alcohol in the house. Unless we start on spirits, but not on a school night. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Peck says that you're doing an amazing job too, my dear.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Perks. So we've added some of your painted figures into our gallery, Mr. Perks.
Wicked D wants to check your posture. And not paint the backdrop.
Yeah, not paint the backdrop. Yeah. That's it. Who have we got? Oh, sorry. I'll just talk. You say hello to everybody in the chatty thing. So yeah, good. Excellent.
Oh, you've got a couple more people now. Do you want to tell everybody what you're doing?
Okay, yeah, so just to recap, so these are Reaper. This particular figure is a Cobblestone Castings halfling from the Halfling Adventurers pack. And I did check, after our stream the other day, I did check, and we currently, for some reason, haven't got these guys listed on our website. So we're going to rectify that over the next couple of days. I thought we had them, but for some reason they're not showing. But we've definitely had them previously, so we've ordered some more, and they should be here soon, because I think they're fantastic figures and everybody should have some, and they're not crazy expensive either. So this guy is a Cobblestone Castings halfling, as many of these figures are, so they're either Cobblestone or Reaper, and so this is a halfling adventurer, and this guy is going to be the apothecary figure for my Frostgrave warband, which are all halflings apart from my wizard, who is a necromancer, and I'll show you her shortly. In fact, I'll show you her now. So this is the only figure that we don't sell, and I think it's a really nice mini, but this is, can't remember her name, Lenore, I think it is, Dynamic Lenore, and she is from Hassle-Free Miniatures, and I picked her up at Salute a couple of years ago when we went down for the day on the train. So she's going to be my necromancer, and all of the rest of the warband are her halfling lackeys, who she's co-opted into venturing into the frozen city to rescue or capture treasure and defeat her enemies. So I thought that might be a fun little narrative. Always like to have a little story for my armies, warbands, gangs, whatever, because it's more fun that way if you develop yourself a little story, I think, rather than just trying to play to win. Right then, how are we doing on there? There we go. Right, so on to the next one. Just have a little water. So yes, boss. So we're currently painting with Reaper Dwarven Flesh. Now this is one of the 298 codes, the old HD codes, and these have been renamed into the Bones range of Reaper paints, but they all still exist as far as I'm aware. Mrs. MLG is going to try and find us a colour match, I think. Oh, I thought that's what you were tapping for. I thought you were going to try and find us a match for that paint, but it doesn't matter.
Well, that's red. A match red.
on our site. Anyway, doesn't matter. You're doing something else. It's fine. It's fine. You were concentrating on something else. So, yeah, just repainting some of the skin on these guys because previously, I don't know, I thought they should be elves or something with really pale skin maybe when I painted them before, but they're all going to be a little bit more hearty looking. Until my necromancer starts draining their life force out of them, I think. And if you've ever played if you've ever played Frostgrave before, Bone Dart is the best spell in the game. But some of my regular opponents didn't seem to think so. But I think in the second edition, as I understand, they've just made it a little bit harder to cast. It used to be too easy to cast Bone Dart on your opponent, which is a offensive spell, like a magical attack, and it was quite overpowered really in the game. I understand they've balanced that out a little. It was fine. So when the gaming floor gets reopened, which will probably be, I was reading a couple of news articles this morning. I think we'll be opening the gaming floor sometime around June, but obviously that's subject to change. So when we get the gaming floor reopen, we'll be running this Frostgrave campaign in store. If anybody can make it to come and have a game or two, I definitely recommend that you come and participate. You don't have to have any specific figures apart from a wizard, an apprentice, and say 6 to 8 henchmen, which are thieves and thugs and what have you, soldiers. But we've got a couple of spare war bands kicking around at the shop if anybody would like a demo game, and you can make it in to have a game. And I was talking to a couple of the staff today about possibly even streaming a game or two live once we get the store reopen, and then we can maybe do a couple of live demos or something. Would be pretty cool. I got black on this guy's chin when I painted his cloak, and now it looks like he's got really, really heavy stubble just in 2 patches on his chin. So I'm just going to have to go over that again. Excellent. Looking great. So any suggestions, anybody in chat? Any suggestions for hair colour for my halflings? I'd like to have a little bit of variation across the models. So I'm open to suggestions. That's the one part of my colour scheme I haven't planned out yet.
GG says purple.
Purple, yeah, we could do one of them with a purple hair, I guess. I think what we might do, because the apprentice mini, who is a Pathfinder range halfling, so this little lady here, she's got a bit of hair showing out around the edge of her robe, so we could paint that purple. I think she'd fit for that, rather than having one of these little warrior types with a shock of purple hair. So I think that's a done deal.
Mr. Perk says, what are your thoughts on Stargrave? Something that you will go with?
Yeah, well, we'd definitely be stocking it, and I know a few of the guys are interested in playing it. I read a little bit of blurb about it actually this morning, and I'm not really quite sure how it's going to work. So similar to Frostgrave, but I guess you'll be fighting through spaceships and space stations and stuff, which could be really cool. But I don't know whether there's another war-themed game in a sci-fi setting that seems to overpower just about every other game that's set in a sci-fi arena. And I don't know whether that might just limit the popularity of Stargrave. But I guess we'll find out in April. But I think it'll probably sell well to begin with, and the rules are heavily based on Frostgrave, I understand, so it should be pretty good, solid mechanics. I must admit I'm not quite as excited for the sci-fi as I am for good old fantasy Frostgrave. But
what's the other sci-fi game then?
What, that'll overshadow it? Warhammer 40,000.
Is it?
Yeah. Just kind of destroys the fan base or the player base for every other sci-fi game going, just about. And I don't know if that's just that, because there is a fantastic sci-fi game, which is Beyond the Gates of Antares by Warlord Games, and the dice mechanic for the game is excellent. It's really good equipment, loads of actual tech weapons and stuff. It's really good, designed to make you think a little bit more about the game that I'm going to go on a waffle now. But Gates of Antares is absolutely fantastic. So you have weapons that can net down your enemies. So you can pin their models so they can't move, and your transports actually have reasons why they can't fit that many people inside them. They use compression technology so you can fit more minis, more guys inside your vehicles, even though your vehicles aren't the size of a bus. And you've got little drones that follow your guys around, and the tech level's just so much I don't know, more interesting. It's based on D10s rather than D6s, so you get a lot more variation with your dice rolls, and there's all sorts of orders and rules and different mechanics that are in the game, different kind of things, as well as just massive guns. So it's a great system, but unfortunately it's never really had the momentum that it should have. So Warlord makes some great games. Bolt Action's probably the one that everybody's aware of, and it is a fantastic game. And Gates of Antares is kind of based off it. It was written by Rick Priestley, who is a great game designer. It's a fantastic game, but unfortunately, I don't know whether it's because of the miniature range that Warlord produced to go along with it, rather than it being a generic system, or whether it's just the sheer force of 40k. But it's just never really had the following that it probably should have had, because it is an awesome game. It's got great pedigree, but it's just not there. No, well, that's a dice game that was based on. No, it's still in production, but we haven't currently got it in stock. So there was talk that there may be a second edition of Antares released, and hopefully that'll come at some point, and some new models and what have you that'll come along with it. But again, I think it's destined to get overshadowed by Games Workshop and Warhammer 40,000. There's something just so powerful about the 40k universe and the draw. And at the end of the day, I suppose Games Workshop do make arguably the best sci-fi minis I won't say they make the best fantasy minis, but they probably make some of the best sci-fi minis available. There's plenty of people making some great stuff that you can buy and 3D print and what have you at the moment. But commercially produced sci-fi figures, I don't think you can get any better, really. And that's the reason Games Workshop are the massive organisation that they are, I guess. Yeah, that killed that, didn't it?
Says he's got a soft spot for Rick Priestley, but showing his age for remembering some of his classic input in the days of old.
Yeah, well, I could sort Mr. Perks out with an autograph from Rick Priestley if he would like, unless he's already got it. Next time we may cross paths, I could sort you out with a signed Gates of Antares poster, handwritten by the man himself. And he's a lovely fellow. If you've ever met him, he's a lovely guy. He's met him a couple of times at open days and what have you. He's a really nice chap.
Bruce Place says it's marketing.
Yeah, well, I dare say that they spend an absolute fortune on it, don't they? I don't know how much it cost in one of the last times we went to Nottingham, and there was a Stormcast Eternal on the side of the tram that went past in front of us. Can you remember?
Yes.
I don't know how much it might have cost them to have that emblazoned on the public transport for a year or whatever, but it certainly looked impressive. Games Workshop do some stuff that's obviously just driving people to stores to buy figures, don't they? These Hatchet Partworks, so they did Conquest, and then the Lord of the Rings one that they did years ago, and the Mortal Realms one that they did last year. Or was it last year? I think it was last year. The Mortal Realms magazine, the Age of Sigmar one, and now they're launching a new one, Imperium, I think it's called, that's got the some of the Primaris stuff on and what have you, some of the new minis. So those magazines, obviously they're featuring some Games Workshop content, but they're going to be a massive draw for new people. They're going to see that in the supermarket or wherever and just go and pick up a magazine for £3 or £4 that's got some Space Marines on the front and then just get hooked in. That's like a massive lead in to the hobby, and it's just going to keep growing the rest of it. So once they've had like a bit of a taste, look around and see what else there is apart from Games Workshop figures or whatever, and then it just leads on from there. And some of these other board games as well that they're going to produce, they're starting with some stripped down versions of Blood Bowl, I understand, and a couple of other games that will be more commercially available.
You need to hydrate, my darling.
I do. Look, Warlord know I'm talking about them. They just sent me an email.
You've got your work's emails of what you pay.
I know. Well, so I could keep an eye on the chat.
Anything exciting?
No.
Ah.
Something about shipping.
Do you want to tell everybody about what we might be getting new in?
Oh, so we had a conversation today with Atlantis Miniatures, and so we're just in the process of talks about getting the range of Atlantis miniatures, figures and ogres and all the flying beasties and giants and other bits and pieces that we can possibly get, and getting the whole range of that into store. and onto our web store. So that should be really cool. The chap that we spoke to today was quite nice and seemed quite positive about the whole situation. I don't know how a large order might affect their ordering capacity, but we'll see. He's going to get back to us, so that was good. Hopefully a lot of people might like to see some Atlantis miniature stuff in the shop. I think on the most part it comes either in blisters or in some boxes. Now some of the larger products they don't have retail packaging for per se. They might be in some kind of plain boxes, so it might be a range where we display some of it on the shop floor and some of it is on a have to ask for it kind of basis, but we'll see what it looks like once it arrives with us, hopefully in the not too distant future. So we're pretty excited about that. I definitely like some of their monsters, the Manticore, and the little Miss MLG really likes the Pegasus. She's a bit of a fan of flying horses and unicorns and alicorns, but I like the Manticore and I like the Hippogriff, which looks really nice. It's kind of reclining on a rock and reminded me and Mrs. MLG of our dog.
I wonder what you were going to say.
I don't know, what was I going to say?
I don't know. I didn't know where you were going with that. Gigi says, "Man, I'm going to get all of these names wrong. Do you happen to know if they will re-release Gorzag? Completely missed it as a limited time mini in January. Are the minis like that added into sets later, or is it a case of that was it, only chance, gone now?"
Gorzag, is that the guy on the Wyvern? Or the Lord of the Rings figure?
Don't know, she might tell them.
Alright. I think he's one of the Lord Edition. Yeah, mincing me words.
The awkward tech ammo runt.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, so we might be able to help you out there.
I don't know where they are.
So
I don't know the screen now.
yeah, so we ordered some of those when they were on the web store back in January, and they turned up the other day. So we've got some to sell because it was a made-to-order situation. So we've got some, and they arrived the other day. So if you are in the UK, we could possibly sort you one out for a very reasonable sum. But the best thing to do would be to drop us an email with your requirements, shall we say, and we'll see what we can sort out for you, and get back to you.
Do it in the UK.
Get back to you with a price, yes. So
GW's rules.
yeah, so Games Workshop won't let us ship any products outside of the EU. So and international shipping is currently extremely expensive. But if you're in the UK, we might be able to help you out. Or depending on if you're in Europe. If you're in Europe and you're willing to pay a little bit for your shipping, depending on how desperate you are for the figure, then we might be able to help you out there as well. So we can find out a shipping quote for you.
Got to hydrate. Are you in the UK, Gigi? Drinky.
I'm getting there.
You'll never be so healthy. Oh yeah, that's alright then. He's in the UK.
Down in that there Devon.
Oh, is that your terrible impression?
I don't know what you're talking about. I thought it was pretty awesome. Right. So, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I've painted it over another flesh tone, but they've come out like really rosy pink, and then the others that I painted, that I painted over the black, they're gonna need another coat, aren't they?
Well,
Did you see that?
Black base, then yes.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, okay. Can't all be a master painter after 3 months, like you know.
Hardly. Mr. Pelix is excited for the Atlantis Fighting Fantasy Kickstarter minis. He's going to be posting them in our Discord.
Yeah, when are they coming? The chap I spoke to earlier on did mention that they had some Kickstarter stuff on the way and what have you.
Oh, I don't know about that, GG. The mini of the day yesterday was appalling.
What's that?
That I'm alright at painting. In the next month, Mr. Pelix says. It's
cool.
Just filled in the back of kit details.
Super.
Almo says licking your brush doesn't count as hydrating.
What am I supposed to be doing?
No, probably. You do lick your brush a lot, don't you?
Yeah, can't help it.
Is that from years of...
Yeah, I don't know why I started doing it actually. I can't think like when I started doing it. When I realised that having a point on my brush was important in painting. Oh, this model's got such tiny hands. Oh, she's got a ring on. How am I ever going to paint that? Yeah, might have to break out the.
You using any specific brushes?
No, I'm using the. And I've been quite enjoying using this brush actually. Yeah, just paint this tiny little hand, and I will tell you what kind of brush I'm using.
Bruce says you need a halfling size brush.
Yeah, I need to not blob the inside of her hood. That's what I need to do.
As long as you don't lick your brush from that mirror paint you were using, Goblin Squire, in your stream earlier, that wouldn't have been very good.
Oh yeah, how is it? Is it good?
Oh, it was. Yeah, you were at work. He was painting a mirror, surprisingly enough. Looks really, really good. For mini of the day or whatever it was.
Yeah. Because we
showed us his mini of the day when it had the mirror paint stuff on, but I can't remember where it was from. The one that he had.
Is it the Green Stuff World one?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was a Green Stuff World one. You had to use like spirits to clean it. And
yeah, right. Well, yeah, we I should have brought it with me, but we've got the Green Stuff World chrome paint.
This was like proper reflective, shiny.
In on our most recent delivery, we've got the chrome stuff, but that's something else that we just haven't added yet. Right. Let's not bash the camera with my glasses.
Yes, because with everything that's been going on in the world and homeschooling, etc., I'm the one that normally adds new stock, and I have been homeschooling, so I'm a little behind with it all, really.
Yeah.
Been adding the Vitrix today, haven't I?
Yeah, you've been slacking, I
I've
don't
been
know.
proper slacking. Been slacking, listening to Goblin Squire Creations Twitch stream all day, just doing nothing really.
It was alright. I don't understand half of what you were saying when you were playing League of Legends earlier on, but because I was listening to it while I was building some MDF terrain, while Mrs. MLG was there paying more attention than I was. But yeah, I don't understand what lanes are and all the other bits and pieces. It sounded good.
It looked really nice, the graphics and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I don't play computer games, do I? So
No.
probably, what was the racing game that you used to get in the olden days? I can't remember.
Don't know. Hit and run.
No, it was just a normal Gran Turismo. Was that?
Gran Turismo, yeah.
I think that's probably the last thing that I've ever played. I don't think we can count Mario Kart with on this really.
Why not?
I thought I could just sit down and play on your own type of thing.
Right.
He says he doesn't understand half of it either. There's a video introducing the basics on YouTube that Goblin Squire Creations has done.
Alright, cool.
You go check that out and see.
Yeah.
Explaining the basics of League of Legends.
That could be dangerous.
Well, and get you into something else.
Yeah.
What have you got? Baldur's Gate, Skyrim.
Yeah.
You've really got a lot of you computer games.
No, but on the front cover of this month's White Dwarf is some Steam codes for some fantastic Games Workshop tie-in computer games, which I've wanted to play for ages. To be fair, so I might have to give a couple of those a go. Total War and things similar. I don't know if Blood Bowl's on it actually.
And when would you fit that in there?
Oh, don't know. When I'm asleep. When I should be asleep. I was going to tell you what kind of brush I was using, wasn't I? So this brush that I'm using here is a Green Stuff World 0 Kalinsky Sable standard detail brush. And these brushes are really good quality and really cheap. So this is a Kalinsky Sable haired brush, which was £3.25, which is an absolute bargain for the quality of the brush. And I'm really enjoying using it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I just wish that they did a 00, because I would say, compared to some of my other brushes, that this is a 1 rather than a 0. But I've been using this brush for painting almost everything I've painted for the last 3 weeks, and I think it's great. And if I think I've said on the stream before, but if I can use a cheap brush rather than an expensive brush, then that is better for me. Not only because I get to try out stuff that I can heartily recommend to customers in the shop who don't want to spend a great deal of money on their first products. So I'd recommend this to a beginner painter, because it's cheaper than some of the other synthetic brushes that we sell. But also, I'm a terrible painter, and if you watch me for a while, you'll see that quite often I jab paint at the model rather than brushing it on. So cheaper brushes are good because they don't cost me as much money when I have to replace them. If that makes sense. How I saw the brush cleaner earlier on.
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
I think he's going to have to leave it for a bit.
Right.
Brush was maybe a bit too far gone, I
think. Yeah. Well, we tried some different brush cleaners out. Tried some Vallejo brush cleaner, and I've tried some Green Stuff World stuff. The brush restorers and what have you. And I haven't found one that can rescue brushes after they've been in my hands, to be fair.
I think we leave it too late. You may be supposed to be like, oh, this brush might need sorting, blah blah, not this is completely devastating.
Yeah.
It's hardly got any brushes
Yeah, I
left.
suppose trying to rescue a brush that you've been using for dry brushing and mixing paint and other stuff is probably a bit optimistic, isn't it? I don't know.
Mr. Perks has been liking the Green Stuff World Silver series.
Oh yeah, we sell quite a few of those. They must be popular.
I paint with my £1.9 Humbrol brush.
Yeah.
That might show.
No, you do a fantastic job. There's the thing, isn't it? You don't have to have the most expensive brushes in the world. So like, I had a customer the other day on the phone, and he was raving about, in a good way, about how good Winsor & Newton brushes are, and he'd bought a Winsor & Newton, in one of these Series 7s I keep hearing people talking about, a Winsor & Newton Series 7, and I can't remember what size of brush it was, and he was saying that he'd been using it for so long and it was great and absolutely fantastic, and he used it for everything, what have you. But then he told me that it cost him £26 for a single paintbrush. And I thought, that's just a bit excessive. And because last year, when I spoke to the same guy on the phone, he was just getting started out with the hobby. I'd told him that he didn't need to buy expensive paintbrushes and it wouldn't make him a better painter if he had an expensive paintbrush, because he needs the practice rather than just buying all the best gear. And anyways, he did admit the other day that it didn't make him any better painter, but was a really nice brush after we'd finished our discussion. But that's why we don't sell paintbrushes in the shop that cost more. I think the Green Stuff World Gold Series brushes, and they're about £10 a brush, I think, or something along those kind of lines. They're the most expensive brushes that we sell in the shop, and we probably never sell anything that costs anything more than that, because I think that's more than enough to spend on a paintbrush. We've looked at a couple of other ranges of paintbrushes. We've had companies contact us asking us to stock their paintbrushes, and that are quite expensive, but I don't mind ordering things specifically in for people, but I just wouldn't feel happy unless I'd tried a brush for myself. I wouldn't feel happy recommending a brush that cost as much as most of the models.
Mr. Perk says, wash your brush often, keep it damp, not wet, and just get into the habit of washing it often. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Is that why you're always sticking it in your mouth, keeping it wet?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you've got to keep your paint out with your ferrule.
Yeah, no, yeah, that destroys your paintbrushes very quickly.
Even little Miss knows that. Let me see.
Yeah.
She told you off the other day when you were mixing paint with one of your normal brushes.
She did.
Told you off because she's supposed to use an old brush so that you don't get it in the ferrule. So basically, your life is just surrounded by women who tell you off a lot.
Yeah.
But we do love
I love you too. That was a genuine I love you too.
There's no hope, is there?
No. Right. I think I'm going to paint it brown and then I'm going to go back over it with the gold. I want to paint the end of his scabbard. I want to paint the end of his scabbard with like the brass or something to make it stand out. I'm going to paint it brown so it's a darker colour for the like an undercoat on the end there. So cool. That's looking good, even if I do say so myself. It's alright, I've got like 3 months to paint these figures before I'm going to need to use them in a game, so.
Asma said brown's are a good undercoat colour for gold.
Nah, that's good, because that's what I'm using. Right. Don't know. This guy, he's got this kind of. I think I've painted it indigo already, actually. Yeah, I have.
You can't see it?
Yeah. He's got this collar on that's like studded leather around the end, and I think I've already painted that. With the indigo. I'm going to have to go over it again because I blobbed silver onto it.
As
Right.
I said, he didn't even know that Frostgrave had a war game, just the RPG.
I didn't know there was a Frostgrave RPG.
I didn't even know Frostgrave had a war game, just the RPG.
Oh, see, I didn't know that Frostgrave had an RPG.
Maybe I'm not reading it.
I don't think she needs any brown. Right, let's come back to her.
Thank you for the follow. The bat nuts.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
good at these names, you know. My terrible. Do apologise.
Did we get a graphic come up and everything?
You did. It was you.
Yeah, we sat down and set some things up the other day when we became affiliates. You know, we're now affiliates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We still don't know what we're doing with them.
Mm.
Scythian says that he's never heard of the RPG either, or the war game.
Yeah, I might have to look that up.
So, Asma says that Geek and Sundry did a live stream game years ago with it.
All right.
Mercer DMs. Oh look, and the Batnaz has that I still can't say has subscribed. Thank you, sir.
Oh, super! Thank you very much.
Very, very kind of you. You got a different little graphic then dancing about.
Yeah, the Batnaz. Cool.
Mr. MLG can't see the same screens I can see, so it's
Yeah. Thank you for subscribing to our channel.
I do appreciate it. Mine is not drying very well.
Have you not got your radiator turned on?
No, it's getting warmer,
Uh-huh.
isn't it? Getting warmer.
Mrs. MLG has a radiator under the table near her
Attached to your
knees.
legs, basically. I'm old. Need to keep warm at my age.
Yeah, it's definitely warmer today. I've had my shorts on today. And that's
Yeah.
not. It's the start of summer.
We've even been outside using the spray can.
Yeah, we've been outside undercoating miniatures in the back garden today. with the neighbour's dog
Yes,
interrupting our video stream, like recording.
Another classic MLG video there for Mr. Perks trying to talk over the dog barking from some other house.
Yeah. Superb.
Gigi says that the Batnaz can relate to you being surrounded by women telling you what to do.
All right.
He's got daughters. But do you ever listen though? That's the thing.
At the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I will have to get the comparison spray can video sorted out on time.
Yeah, but it's great. I can confirm that TT Combat spray paints are excellent.
Yeah, now we've actually tested it out.
Yeah. So and I'm gonna. So far we've only tried the black, and it was pretty cool. Was as good as could possibly be, and over the next, hopefully, if the weather's nice tomorrow, suitable for spraying. Was a little bit windy this evening when we did it when I got home from work, but if the weather is suitable tomorrow, I've got some skeletons that I'm going to undercoat with the bone variant. So we'll give that a whirl as well. But I'm pretty confident that it will be absolutely spot on. It looks like a really bright bone as well, like it's the PHR bone that we've got, and it looks like the shop, Mighty Lancer Games web store, has got all the colours in stock, but the one that I've got for my skeletons is the PHR bone, and I think, looking at the can, it looks like almost a direct replacement for Citadel Wraithbone, which would be great because we can't get any sprays out of GW at the moment. Just don't think they have any availability. So if it's a good match, we'll be able to promote it to everybody that wants to be buying Wraithbone at the moment. But we can let you know more about that tomorrow. Or when we get to test it out, certainly. I'd like to do more with the airbrush, but it's just having the right ventilation conditions, isn't it?
Mhm. It's quite noisy as well.
Yeah.
I'll have to just put you outside.
Yeah.
Mr. Perks says, what's the finish like? It's matte, isn't it? Is it matte or satin?
It's matte. It's pretty good. And if I hadn't left them in the garage to dry fully, I would show you. But I'm sorry, I have. But yeah. But when you check out our video, Mr. Perks, you'll be able to see. So it's I painted it onto some terrain. Tried it out on some terrain that I've built, MDF terrain, and it's come out a lovely matte finish on there.
You might be able to get you some pictures on Discord.
Yes. Yeah, I'll leave that in Mrs. MLG's capable hands.
But people have been asking us, and we don't like to say something's great unless we've actually tried it, so we're giving it a whirl.
Yeah. So two product reviews in one, because I've built a TT Combat building for the Frostgrave thing, which is one video that's coming. so you'll be able to see that and how the quality is. Now the only downside to building lots of MDF terrain is my fingers are slightly stained yellow from all the burnt wood edges from the MDF. No matter how many times I wash my hands, looks like I've been a heavy smoker. So maybe wear gloves when you're assembling it if you can manage that. But it looks absolutely fantastic.
It's really good.
So I'm really pleased with it, and got a couple more to put together to fill a gaming table up. And then we've undercoated that said piece of scenery with the black spray. So.
Well, that's my darling. You've nearly been on for an hour.
Have we? Wow.
Yeah, you see how time goes when we're having lots of fun.
Yeah.
You maybe need to be showing people what you've got done and talking about it.
Okay. I'll just finish this guy's belt. Not a massive amount of productivity this evening, to be fair. Been doing more talking than concentrating.
Gigi says that they've seen the spray trigger thingy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I haven't tried one of them yet.
No. Says, is it helpful for spraying with control, or is it just to help you hold the can?
No, I understand it's supposed to help you get more control over your application. So it's got the trigger so that you can get finer bursts. But we will test one at some point and let you know, because I wouldn't want to tell you that it's absolutely fantastic if it isn't. So maybe I might test one when I undercoat my skeletons and see what it's like.
Asma says, oh, never mind. Apparently I was mixing up Frostgrave with Titan's Grave.
Ah!
Everyone thought they were very crazy then.
Yeah, so the Titan Grave, we had the Titan Grave setting. I think it's out of print at the moment, but we have had that before. It's like a setting book for Fantasy Age, and it looked great. But when the last time I looked at it, I thought oh, this looks really cool, and I knew that they'd featured some of the stuff on the Critical Role and what have you with the Matt Mercer series. But we're in the middle of a D&D campaign, 5th edition, and it was going to be a while till we changed over, and we'd already kind of committed to the next game that we played being Pathfinder. So just haven't got it. Just haven't got there, and then we sold out, and that was it. I can't get any more currently from the distributors. Unfortunately, I can't get any more Fantasy Age books either, because that's a system that's got a bit of appeal for me. Just something a bit different, but then we're going to start Pathfinder. Well, we've started Pathfinder. Me and Mrs. MLG and little Miss MLG have started a Pathfinder game just for us. And then
you're trying to teach us, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to teach us. And then when we get the gaming floor open and we start on evening gaming again, I'm trying to convince one of my old friends and staff members to run a game that he ran for us years ago, which was based in D&D. Trying to get him to run that again, because it was a fantastically detailed setting of medieval France. So,
was it 1st edition Pathfinder that you?
Yes, yeah, 1st edition. I've not got my head around 2nd edition fully, so I'm more comfortable making it up as I go along with 1st edition.
And seeing as how me and Little Miss have never even picked up dice before, then we really don't know the difference.
Yeah. Making characters and everything I'm a lot more familiar with for 1st edition. So that's why we're going with that. We played we played the playtest rules for 2nd edition when they came along, but I haven't played the final iteration.
As Mo says, I'm sure that Pathfinder 2e is better than D&D 2e.
Yeah. It's from the playtest that we did. It's quite a different game to 1st edition, if I recall correctly. There's a fair amount of mechanical difference. You're still rolling d20s and stuff, but the way that your skills and things work is different. Your abilities. So, how have I managed that? I've got a big blob of silver on this guy's trousers. No idea what I'm doing here.
Well, you said it. So, my darling, you've been on for an hour now. What are you doing?
Have we? All right. Well, so I'm gonna carry on painting, but I think that we should probably draw the stream to a close on.
Well, it's up to you if you want to keep them. If people need to go, they can go, or it's entirely up to you.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna. Do we live in an underground bunker?
Because we don't know, because they said to open the windows for airbrushing. We ain't got any windows. We ain't got any windows, so we can't open it.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, we haven't got any windows. We've just got a door that covers the entirety of one wall.
Yeah. Which, this time of night when it's pitch black, everything had come flighted in and not be very good.
Yeah, we don't want evils. So so I guess we'll. I'm going to carry on painting. And if you want to carry on watching us, that's very much appreciated. And I'll just carry on painting and waffling. And if you need to shoot, then that is absolutely cool. Thank you very much for watching so far. And we'll just carry on for a bit longer.
So Rose Place says, I know this is definitely on Discord, but what nights are the RPG nights on at MLG? These were on Thursdays? You had so many.
Yeah, so we did RPG nights, were Tuesday nights and Thursday nights.
It's so long ago.
Yeah. Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. So we'd carry on from when the shop shut at like 5 o'clock, and then we'd stay open until about 11 on a night time. So
about
I think,
11.
Yeah, okay, well, 12.
Used to ring you at ridiculous. Like, are you coming home at any point, Darren?
Well, you knew where I was.
I did know where you
were. Tuesday nights and Thursday nights from closing time through to late, and normally people started drifting off about 11 o'clock, and then I'd kick the last people out the door about 1 some weeks, but it just depends on what time people need to leave. So some people used to get the train through or whatever from Beverley, and they obviously had to leave a little bit earlier because they had to go and get their trains and stuff, and generally left their character sheets with somebody else so they could carry on the game after they'd gone.
Oh, forget to do it in the car.
Sorry. What else? And then so a Friday night magic or Friday night gaming session on a Friday night, obviously, and that could run till late as well. So depending on what time people wanted to leave or what time we had to be up the next day and what have you, we played until like 2:30 in the morning some weeks. If for a bit of Commander or anything like that. Looking forward to getting back to playing a bit of tabletop magic when we can reopen.
And then we have the kids D&D for after school.
Yeah, kids D&D on a... What day did we even do it?
It was so long ago.
I know. Did we do it on a Friday?
I don't
Or
know.
I think we did it on a Friday evening after school, so like 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock or something. We did kids D&D. and we've run it on a Saturday before for some different sessions, and at other times during the day, during school holidays and stuff, special events, painting classes, and all the other bits and pieces that we used to put on.
Pikachu came to see us.
Oh yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff that we can do once we get back open again. I'm hoping that once the world reopens, that people will feel quite confident to stay in the UK for their summer holidays, and that Bridlington may be a popular holiday destination for holiday makers in the UK. It'd be nice to see. Sorry. I just like being over there.
Yeah, I know. Wicked D says you've got to stretch. It obviously can see you hunkered over.
I know, yeah, I could do with a bit of a stretch,
Not
actually.
looking after yourself.
Yeah, I could do with a bit of a... And I dropped my chair down, so I wasn't like... I was leaning more forward than... maybe I need to drop it a bit more. I'll have a stretch in a moment.
See, someone's got to look after you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always paint my mushroom men like they're made out of stone. Completely unintentional. Dear.
Let's have a look. Can we show everybody our mushroom man on screen?
Yeah, it's awful.
So this is Mrs. MLG's Myconid that she's been painting. It's a red cap. Red cap mushroom.
Okay.
Because it's got red hair.
I know, but you said it in like a weird...
Oh, right,
like
okay.
it was a thing, had it?
So he looks awesome.
He does.
He does. You're not going to leave the top that bright red though, are you? You're going to do some more to it. I know, I've nicked it. I know I have. I was messing.
Oh, he does look like a fun guy. He does. Oh dear. Somebody had to say it, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
So have you had your stretch yet?
Oh no.
Yeah, don't go painting mine.
Yeah, I'm not going to paint the thing. There we go.
This is what happens when I let you have material out of my cupboard.
Oh, I missed her feet. I thought she had boots on, but she's got bare feet.
They all got bare feet.
Yeah, I thought, well, no, because she's got bare feet. Oh, what a numpty. What a douche.
Oh, extra words.
Yeah, extra words. So, here's a question for our viewers. If you've seen the stream starting soon or stream ending soon, what do you think to our funhouse music that we've put onto that? Do you like it, or do you think we should change it? Like when I first listened to it, I thought it was really really funky and different. But if people don't like it, we'll change it.
Oh, Wicked D likes it. Maybe have to get it as hold music for work, Wicked D.
Oh yeah.
I'll just put you on hold. See how long they last.
Yeah, we could do that.
Not us, her.
Oh. Thank you for ringing Mighty Lancer Games. No,
you need to talk to your customer, not put them on hold. This is, I know that Wicked D gets some people that maybe need putting on hold for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, talking about customers ringing the shop. So I had a customer ring the shop today who was looking for some very specific parts for a conversion. So if any of our local customers are watching and may happen to have the way the chap described it, I'm not really sure which particular head he was after, but he described it as the Dark Eldar head that looks like Christopher Eccleston. Yeah, a bald dark Eldar head that looks like Christopher Eccleston. And then he's looking for the body of the guy out of the triumvirate of Uned. I think it's Uned, the like Eldar triumvirate. He wants the body of the guy that's painted red on the front of the box with all the fur lining his thing. There you go. So if any of our local customers may have those items in their bits box, I know somebody that would be interested in having them. So let us know. I know it's a bit of a long shot, but worth a try.
Oh, I won't be able to say that either, Beard Goblin. The Visarch?
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy.
Yeah, that guy. Captain that guy. Yeah, I'm not very good at any of the made up words. In fact, I'm not very good at all the normal words, let alone the made up ones. When little miss was a lot younger and she was learning to read, she was in the shop one day and she was trying to read some of the Games Workshop boxes, and I kept having to say to her, but they're not real words. You don't need to learn these words. They're not real.
So I've already mentioned my thoughts on Warhammer 40,000 in the stream. What's our viewers' thoughts on 40k and the various races and what have you in the game?
You did a couple of lore videos, didn't you?
We have done some. Yeah. I don't like blowing my own trumpet, but I've.
But you've what done?
Done a couple of videos just on YouTube. You might be able to find just briefly explaining what some of the factions are for total noobs. But I read a post on Facebook earlier on today where somebody was saying that they thought that they should make the Inquisition a standalone army in Warhammer 40,000, and that they should write a whole codex full of the forces and what have you, and then the various people responding to him arguing about why they thought that they either should or shouldn't be a standalone army, or what other game system that they'd be suitable for. And my personal thought is that they shouldn't be a 40k army. They should be kept to games like perhaps Necromunda or Kill Team or what have you. I think that suits the way that I think about Inquisitors from the books and things a little better. But I know that Games Workshop will do whatever they think will A, please the fans more, and B, create more revenue.
Beard Goblin says, 40k, I dig the universe, the factions and the minis. I'm not entirely sold on the rules. Kill Team is pretty fun though, but I'm the sort of heretic that doesn't mind bodging miniatures, ranges and rules together for my own amusement.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot to be said for homebrewing stuff.
And Bruce says that the game is well made and there's reasons it's the market leader. Need to absorb all the rest and forget their contradictions, and the universe is quite interesting.
Yeah, I love the books. I love the lore and the thing. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The way that they've built the universe and the all the fluff and everything to go along with it is absolutely fantastic. Sometimes they need to get their right a bit. I suppose that's what you're saying, but they need to get some of their writers together in a room and make sure they get their continuity right. But I mean, the game's gone through a lot of evolutions. The Rogue Trader rules that it was originally based off, and the 40k universe was more of a parody about 80s politics than anything else. Super. Right, that's all me brown done for now. And let's paint these two's feet. That I've just completely missed. In fact, it limits the market for the games is cyclical. New players want to play the game, it's easy to find. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I do agree with you. That's what I was saying earlier on about the Conquest magazines. They're going to open the door to loads of new players, and the way that they access the sort of starting points for the hobby, and then hopefully those players will migrate into other aspects of the hobby and different game systems. And certainly that's how it happened for me all those years ago, from that first White Dwarf, and then I started looking around at other stuff that was available, and it all just escalated from there.
Yeah, probably says he's looking forward to Stargrave. Is that what we were talking about earlier?
Yes. Yeah, I think Stargrave should be a good game, and we will. We're going to play it, definitely. We'll get some games in and see what we think. I need to read up a little bit and see what kind of terrain we need. But we have got, if my theory is correct, from what I've read so far about the kind of environments that we'd be fighting over, much of our existing sci-fi terrain that we've got in the shop should be suitable. We've got a whole load of the Zone Mortalis stuff and sci-fi buildings and other bits and pieces that we should be able to use for different kind of encounters. Oh, sorry, just headbutted the camera. Now we'll have to get our pre-orders in with Osprey. I think I've already ordered it, actually. I think I've already ordered it from one distributor. I think it's going to be a popular release, so I'll probably end up ordering from a couple of different places just to make sure that we get what we want. As occasionally we'll get allocated a small amount from one distributor, so we'll probably double up on a popular system like that. The game designer for Stargrave's got good pedigree now as well, Mr. McCulloch. He's a really nice guy as well. I've met him at a show and spoken to him. He's a lovely chap. What's up?
You just look funny because you moved again, so you look like you've got a massive eyebrow, and it's like the camera stand.
Was that ducking down here? Oh.
Oh dear.
What time are we on now?
20 past 9.
Right, it seems like now we've been responsible.
Let's read it out, otherwise it's just you.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. So, Roos Plus. It seems like, as of right now, GW are being responsible with the Juggernaut. As long as it stays that way and they and they're helping to make tabletop gaming more mainstream than I dig it. I've not looked into Stargrave. I'm more of a fantasy nerd myself. Yeah, that's how it is for me. We will play Stargrave. We will play some Stargrave in the shop, but it's definitely more about fantasy gaming, really, for me at the moment. I've got an army 40k that I'm probably not going to use, really, because the feedback that I get from the guys that actually are playing 40k, or did play 40k when they could last year, is it's very much about buffs and area effects and what have you. I saw one game where a Space Marine army nearly wiped out his opponent in the first turn because of all the shooting add-ons and command points and all the rest of the kind of thing. And while I really like the models, I don't know if I can play that kind of game. I'd rather play a game for fun, and that doesn't seem very fun. But
is Frostgrave to Stargrave how Pathfinder is to Starfinder?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. That it's a very similar world using like the same kind of character types, or vaguely the same kind of character types. So, as far as I'm aware, because I've never actually played Starfinder, but as far as I'm aware, Starfinder is like Pathfinder in space. So you've got goblins and the other races. Obviously, with the stuff brought in for a higher tech setting, essentially the same game. And I believe that Stargrave is going to be the same kind of thing. So instead of fighting through the ruined city, you're going to be fighting through derelict spaceships and space stations, forgotten alien worlds and all sorts of stuff, with alien creatures in your little ragtag warband and soldiers and mercenaries and different character types similar to Frostgrave. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty much the same thing, but in a sci-fi setting with different weapons and fantastic technologies and stuff. It should be really cool. So instead of magic, you're just going to have technology. It's very much similar kind of thing. Should be pretty good. Should be pretty good and suit different players. I suppose that's the thing you might be hitting on. It's not particularly that all the players from Frostgrave are going to play Stargrave. It's just appealing to a different market, isn't it?
So how's your painting going?
Alright at the moment. I'm just at the point where I need to think about what colour I'm going to paint some hair, I guess.
So we had purple and red as suggestions.
Okay, so we know that the apprentice, she's going to have a bit of purple hair. So red, we could do some red hair and make it more like a gingery auburn kind of colour than pillar box red.
As well says, has Free Blades made it over here yet?
Free Blades? What's Free Blades?
I guess that's a bit of it.
Yeah. Well, it might jog my memory if I could know a bit more.
Wicked D says you should do jade green hair.
Jade green. Yeah, maybe. I think that's a bit too outlandish. Jade green. This guy's having brown hair.
Oh, what kind of hair do I want? Oh, purple, jade green, now brown.
Yeah.
Brown. You should model it afterwards too, just do it grey.
Yeah. I might give me a little captain guy over there with some grey hair. You're right there.
I think that's what he was going to go with, Wicked D. More of a, Albany style. For one of them, maybe.
what I want to know, like Roos Plus, is how's them Tau coming on? Talking about 40k. Super.
So quiet now, it's nearly o'clock.
I know. Crazy.
What else have you got planned then? What's next? Skyrim Sunday?
Yeah, we're going to do Skyrim Sunday. We've got it all teed up. Unless I decide I'm having a little game in the meantime, I've got it all ready so that we're just going to dive into a boss fight on Sunday, and then once we've killed that guy,
that's confidence for you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a difficult fight, so hopefully we won't die. And yeah, so once we've killed that guy and got the various items that he's guarding, then we'll be delving into another dungeon as well. So a bit of a, rather than running around in the countryside, we're going to be doing a bit of dungeon exploring on Sunday, so that should be pretty cool. Should be pretty good. Right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some black and I'm going to paint the shield on my captain.
Plus says recently, not at all. I can't remember its name. Sat primed attached corks next to me, and he's been that way for months. I might make an attempt this weekend. I've been looking at Nighthaunt, but mostly because I want to paint something that's not white.
Yeah, white for Tau is a really hard colour scheme. If you're still after some Nighthaunt on Wednesday, then I can sort you out with a few.
And my nonsense marvellous pile of shame that should probably be by focus, ready for post-COVID games.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a pile of shame, it's a pile of possibility.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. As I say to the guys in the shop, they're not problems, they're opportunities. Yeah. Yeah. What's in your WizKids pile of shame or pile of possibilities? I've got a beholder somewhere that I need to finish. Now I've been doing a bit more painting for the past few weeks, and I feel like I'm never going to be a master. But now I've got a little bit happier with getting some paint on some models. I think I'll revisit that beholder and see if I can get it to look a bit more like something I'm happy with. Because that was the problem. I started painting it, and I just got to the point where I thought it wasn't turning out like I wanted. So it ended up getting sidelined for something else, and I need to get back to it, really. Get it finished off. So many projects on the go.
You need to paint your brass scarf.
I do, yeah, that's a good one.
You could do that on stream.
Yeah, we could.
Can you stock the WizKids boosters? They're pre-painted. Maybe I'll get them for birthdays instead of more guilt. I have 2 beholders. It's mostly terrain sets. I'm a sucker for dungeon dressing, but then it's all brown and boring to paint.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's wicked to have all the scenery stuff, but you've got to do something with it. You've got to paint it and sort it out. Yes, we can get the boosted brick things, and WizKids do a whole range of different ones. So there's like the D&D range, and then there's the Pathfinder range, and they tend to do a release alongside most of the D&D books, and some other stuff in between actually. But it is, I must admit, it's something that I've never really looked into. If there was a market, if there was like interest in it, then we could certainly get some into the shop if people would like that pre-painted. See, it's the random element of the packs, I think, that we used to have it with Hero Clicks. We bought Hero Clicks years and years ago, and we had Hero Click stuff in. But you buy a box and it's maybe got one larger figure and then 3 or 4 smaller figures in. And obviously they're all pre-painted. They come with the dials and all the rest of the stuff. And and we've had Star Wars figures, and we've had D&D figures and some other. I'm sure there's some other stuff. Oh, Mage Knight, that was it. Mage Knight. We've had Mage Knight figures, and sometimes you can get them in dispensers where you get a single figure in a bag, but it's kind of like a blind bag. You don't know what you're getting, do you? So it's just a different thing. But I understand that quite commonly in the States, because we're a member of a WizKids like chat group. In the States, the emphasis more on selling a whole case of these packs, so you're kind of more guaranteed to get certain figures, and that they do, like, because it's a kind of a lottery of what you get in certain things. So if you buy a whole case, you're almost guaranteed to get a whole set of the figures, but you're going to get more of some than others. So there you go. I bought cases.
Yeah, well, as most from not round here.
Yeah. So we've got the first of some figures that we haven't had before from WizKids, which are some of their pre-painted dragons, and they're coming from a distributor in Germany actually. And they're on their way to us. We've got a shipping notification for those the other day. It's a double pack. I think it's got a black and a red pre-painted dragon in, which I understand are around the size of the gargantuan dragons that we've currently got, the unpainted minis, along with a restock of the red and the white gargantuan unpainted dragons. We're getting those, but we got. I ordered these because another painter that we know had painted one of the figures for the box art for WizKids, and I thought we'd check it out. And then sorry, got distracted reading the chat. Yes, there is some kind of case incentive where if you buy the whole thing, you get like some kind of promo figure or something. Yeah, there's something to go along with it. Or if you buy a whole case, you can buy a extra figure that you can only get if you buy the full case of the stuff. I can't really be sure how it works without checking. But yeah, so the dragons. So we're getting these dragons in. It's like a double pack, and it's got the things in. That I got because another painter had painted one of the figures for the box, and I thought, like, oh well, that'd be cool, because sometimes people maybe don't want to they want to buy a really cool dragon as a centerpiece for their D&D game, but they don't want to paint it. So I thought, well, that'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't it, if we get like some of these like larger painted models. So I probably won't worry about the smaller stuff, because you get those out of maybe these booster bricks or whatever we do, just to add an extra option. But so the big dragons, we're going to start stocking some of those larger monsters in the pre-painted stuff, and hopefully they'll go down pretty well. I hadn't told Mrs. MLG about those yet, because she'll have to add them to the she'll have to add them to the website when they turn up.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you very much for watching.
What are you doing now then, sweetie?
So it's 9:30. I think we should maybe call it a night there while I decide what kind of design I'm going to paint on this guy's shield. So I'm going to try and freehand some kind of design onto his shield. So I need to kind of map that out in my head, really, I think, and then do some hair colours, and then do some shading on all this skin, and there's loads of stuff to do yet. So I think we'll call it a night. And thanks everyone for watching and sticking with us. Thank you, Batnaz. That would be appreciated. We try and make it awesome value.
You have to tell them what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry. So Batnaz has said in chat that he has decided that he's going to order the Reaper sub box from us when he gets paid on Friday. So the Reaper sub box, if you don't know, is an awesome box that we send out to our subscribers every month. That's got £25 worth of Reaper Bones figures in it for the princely sum of 20 English pounds, and that includes postage inside the UK. And basically, I get to pick what models we're putting in there every month, and then we send you a box full of goodies. And pretty cool, even if I do say so myself. And can't reach me guy. But so the figure that we're painting on Monday, and we're going to be finishing him off next Monday, is one of the figures that was in our most recent sub box. And I've got to start making the sub boxes ready to ship out this month. So
every Monday we do a sub box Monday, don't we?
Yes, yeah. So every Monday we're going to be painting one of the figures from the sub box. So we started Damien, Hellborn Wizard, on this Monday just gone, and next Monday we're going to finish him off because I hadn't quite got that far. And then the Monday after we'll be starting on a different mini. So we'll probably put a poll up again for the remaining figures out of the box, but we'll give you a bit more detail about that at the time. So
Gigi wants you to do the
unbox and follow up painting of the figures.
And the Baznas is going to do an unboxing later.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's definitely the plan. So we'll show some of those off for you. That'd be great. Cool. Right. Shall we wrap up?
Are you, yeah?
Yeah, awesome. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for taking the time out of your evenings. And join us again on Sunday if you can for Skyrim Sunday. Oh yeah, so so a little less progress this evening, but I've painted metal and brown on my halflings. Oh, sorry. So flesh colour. Can you see? Okay. So if I hold him up here. So I've painted 9 halflings with metal so far as a base coat. Brown for all their belts and pouches and other bits and pieces, and then very roughly, as you can see here, that I've not really worried too much about where I'm going over, is I've painted all the flesh. Break my brush. Painted all the flesh colour on their feet and their faces and their hands, and he still looks like he's got a mucky face, this guy. Let's just we'll sort him out while we're on. It's because when I was painting his thing around his neck last week, I smudged onto his face. I think it's just the shadow. I smudged it onto his face, and he ended up like he was wearing a bandit mask or something, like he was going out in COVID-19 restrictions. But it's just his nose. The way the light catches on his nose. He's got such a pointy nose. But yeah, there we go. Saying but a lot. Going to paint his shield. Don't know what to paint on his shield. He's the chief retainer of a necromancer. Maybe we should paint something cool on there, like a skull or a serpent or something. Don't know. Not quite sure yet. But maybe I might have something painted on there for next week when we show a bit more on these. But might be painting something different next Wednesday. Might be painting either some skeletons. Either some skeletons or some... might do a bit of the brass scorpion or something completely different. Don't know yet. I haven't decided. So please join us on Sunday for Skyrim Sunday and next Monday for painting our subbox miniature, Damien the Hellborn Wizard. And then obviously next Wednesday. So 4 o'clock Sunday, 4 o'clock till 5 o'clock, me and Mrs. Little Miss MLG playing Skyrim. Join us then. Thank you very much for your time this evening and take care.